Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. You are watching SOS. My name is LaKeesha Shipman Hines, LaKeesha Hines, where I am saving one bedroom at a time. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my supporters, my faithful supporters who started off on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. and decided that you would pivot to 12 noon. On Tuesday afternoons. I thank you so much. And please let me know where you are streaming from. I would love to hear where you are streaming from. Let me know. Also, you guys, we have something important coming up every single month. Actually, the second weekend of every month is Last Chance Weekend, and it is an opportunity for you and the one you love to be able to get the resources, tools, and strategies that you need for a successful marriage, a successful relationship. But today, something else that will help you have a successful relationship, a successful marriage is sex. And that's why you're here, because you want to hear all about it and you want to learn more. So we're going to do just that. We're going to have that conversation. Today, we are talking about maintenance sex. And I'm asking, hey, do you think yes or no with this maintenance sex? So I want you to literally tell me in the chat, yes or no. Are you saying yes, do it? Or no, don't do it. I want to know what you think, because I'm going to give you some information and definitely you'll know what I think. So I want to know what you think too. So go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know. Give me a Y if it's a yes. Give me an N if it's a no. Let me know what you're thinking. So first and foremost, let's talk about what it is. What is maintenance sex? And I know it doesn't sound like the most exciting thing in the world, right? Maintenance. So again, we want to just define it first. And what happens with maintenance sex is literally one or both partners aren't in the mood, but they have sex anyway out of obligation. Sometimes it's because they understand the importance of intimacy in a relationship. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can become problematic. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, just wanted to define it. It literally is when one or both parties don't want to do it, but they do it anyway out of obligation, or because they're understanding how valuable it is, how important it is for their relationship. And so they choose to do it. All right. So now let's break this down a little bit further, because, sometimes one of you just might want to just get it on, and all you want to do is just turn over and go to sleep afterwards. Sex, a lot of times, it sounds like it's time consuming. It sounds annoying at times, especially if we put it in this context of maintenance sex. All right. Or maybe when you really want to have it, like your partner's too tired or they seem too stressed out. When we've been together for an extended period of time, it is important to have sex, even if you're not necessarily wanting to. Maintenance sex should not be the only kind of sex you're having, but it should absolutely be on the menu. All right, so I'm going to make a couple points about maintenance sex. And I know some of this, you guys are going to be looking at me like, all right, LaKeesha, ugh. But listen, the truth hurts. Sometimes, there's that saying, it's tight, but it's right. I'm just saying, that's the way it goes. So here we go. Point number one. There will always be two different sex drives. As much as we may have prayed to sweet baby Jesus to make us all be on one accord with our spouses, that we have the same drive, we're at the same pace, the same level, want the same things, there's always going to be a difference in terms of sex drives, right? The libidos are different. Even if you started off with a similar sex drive, over time that changes. A lot of times it's physiological reasons why that changes. Other times it may be emotional reasons, it may be psychological reasons, it may be spiritual reasons. But the point is, there will always be two different sex drives. Um, there's always going to be a moment where one partner wants to have sex and the other one does not. And I won't say that it's impossible for people to have matching sex drives, because they can. But as I said, even still, that changes over time. All right. So we literally have to adjust our mindset to understand that we're not always going to want the same exact amount of sex as our partner does. And so how do we make up for the difference? Well, compromise. Compromise. The partner who has the higher libido has to have realistic expectations, and the partner with the lower libido needs to do the same. And that's where maintenance sex comes into play. We have been fed this idea that we should only have sex when we're in the mood. This is how unfulfilled sexless marriages happen. One partner isn't in the mood and doesn't think he or she needs to be, and therefore the partner with a high libido feels ashamed for wanting sex. They feel like a hornball. I've heard specifically men say this, like, I feel like I'm just trying to ravish her like an animal. I'm trying to force her to do something that she doesn't want to do. And then the other partner feels hounded for sex all the time. The other one is feeling and then because they're getting hounded all the time, they feel that the other partner is pathetic for wanting it. So either way it goes, it's not a healthy relationship. It's not a healthy balance. But I do want to let you know that, again, there will always be two different sex drives. And that just is what it is. But there is something that we can do about it. Okay. So I don't want you to walk away feeling hopeless, like, oh my gosh, it's always going to be different. There's nothing we can do. That's not true. So I just told you that we have to be willing to compromise and make adjustments so that we are able to accommodate the higher as well as the lower libido partner. All right. Point number 2. You won't regret it. Okay. So let me tell you about this, right? So we're talking about maintenance sex, and we're talking about the fact that maintenance sex means one person wants to do it, the other person isn't in the mood, don't want to do it, but they do it anyway, right? Most times you're not going to regret it because it's designed to keep both partners content and connected. So when you're in a long-term relationship, you won't regret putting in the extra effort to have sex. If your partner really wants you, and you just go for it, you'll feel better afterwards. Hopefully, you're enjoying it while you are having it. And then after the fact, you should feel good that you went ahead and did it, because it's all about trying to please your partner, right? You want to make sure that they're pleased. You want to be pleased as well. And so sometimes, literally, we just got to take one for the team. Now, if this is the only way that you're having sex, like if maintenance sex is it, then that's a problem. If you're feeling fully sexually unsatisfied, or if you're experiencing like an ongoing prolonged dip in your libido, then that's a separate issue. And you guys have to address that with your healthcare professional, maybe with a therapist, because the reality is this: sex literally is like going to the gym. You don't want to do it before, but once you suck it up and hit the treadmill or the elliptical, or that Stairmaster, you feel amazing afterwards. So typically, once you go in, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Okay, so point number 3. Show up. Show up. What do I mean? Okay, you're like, LaKeesha, we're having maintenance sex. Of course I'm showing up. I'm here. You can't do it without me. Okay, so I'm trying to say you got to take it a step further. It's more than just being physically present. You need to show up for your partner. And we can relate this back to the whole shame thing. Like, if one person doesn't want to have it, then we shouldn't have it. But sometimes you just need to show up and be actively engaged and involved. And if you need your partner to do more to make you feel desired, then they should be willing to do that for you. Sex is a principal part of happy relationships. It's necessary, it is needed, but it cannot be one sided where one person is experiencing all the joy and all the pleasure and the fullness thereof, and the other partner is walking away feeling dissatisfied or as if they have somehow missed out on an opportunity to receive pleasure themselves. Both parties have to be willing to show up for each other and to put in the effort. Everyone who is in a relationship, a committed relationship, they deserve to feel sexy, to feel safe, and happy. And everybody just wants, again, to experience the pleasure that they desire. Have sex, make a commitment to keep having sex through all of life's challenges, ups and downs, because there's always going to be something that can get in the way of you guys being able to pour into each other, being able to love on each other, being able to connect. There will always be something. We go through all these seasons and phases and stages of life and our relationships, and there will always be something that can get in the way, of what it is that we desire and what it is that we want. All right. So next point. Sex breeds intimacy. I cannot tell you guys how many times I have talked to couples and they have talked about how important it is to have that level of intimacy, right? And one of the reasons why one party may not want to show up for the other is because there's a lack of intimacy. And I have said this, multiple times, you guys, that most times when couples come to me because there's an issue in the bedroom, it's usually not because of what's going on in the bedroom. It's usually an issue outside of the bedroom that is not being addressed, that's not being dealt with, that's being ignored for whatever the reason is. But they literally are not addressing, again, other issues. And now it is bled over, seeped over into the bedroom. So I normally will start with trying to address all of the issues outside of the bedroom before we start tackling what's going on within. So sex breeds intimacy. Orgasms, when we have them, they release oxytocin. That feel-good bonding hormone in your body is the oxytocin. And sex helps you to feel closer to your partner. It's the most intimate physical act you and your partner can experience. And when you don't have sex for a long period of time, it is so easy to lose sight of your connection. So when we have a healthy sex life and we are putting in the work, putting in the effort, our relationship is so much better. Relationships and a healthy sex life take constant work. You got to check in with each other. You have to talk to each other. You have to constantly be taking the temperature of your relationship, ongoing, consistently. And there's just something about when you connect with your partner in that way. It can remind you, both of you, what you mean to each other. And so the more you have it, the happier you will be. Okay, so I want to definitely get your comments. I want to get your questions. Anything that you guys have that you'd like me to address, go ahead, drop it in the comments, and I will be happy to respond. We are going to take a quick break, and then we will come back, and then I will talk to you about when maintenance sex becomes problematic. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching SOS. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Again, you're watching SOS. My name is LaKeesha Hines, and we are talking about maintenance sex today. So, I gave you some reasons why maintenance sex can be extremely helpful to your relationship. But now I want to talk to you about when it can become a problem because it can be problematic. So, one of the ways that this happens is well, let me say this. Let me do it this way. So there are pros and cons, all right, to maintenance sex. So I'll give you the pro and then I'll give you the con. How about that? I think that might work a little bit better. So the first pro is that it literally can help you to avoid long dry spells. Okay, it can help you to avoid really long dry spells. That is the first pro. But the con to that is that both people can feel pressure to have sex. And anytime there is pressure to have sex, trust and believe it is going to impact performance. You never want anyone to feel pressured to do something that they don't feel comfortable with, and especially when it comes to sex. I've said this is like the most vulnerable you will ever be with your partner. So there are so many health benefits to sex, um, you know, for sure, but an overall healthy relationship is one where there's full consent, and you want to make sure that nobody is engaging in sex or sexual activity because they're feeling pressured to do so. They're doing so because they make a choice to do so. They want to please their partner. Again, like I said, sometimes you take one for the team. It is maintenance sex or whatever, but not to the point where you're pressured to do it. So hopefully that makes sense. Pro number two, your physical intimacy is maintained. But the con to that is it's easy to slip into a routine. So I've talked about this before with scheduling sex because a lot of times, couples they complain about not having enough time, being super busy, their work schedules. Maybe one person travels all the time. We have a lot of clients who are on the road a lot. They're truck drivers or they're traveling for business often. And so making time for sex can be a challenge. And so, the recommendation would be put it on the calendar because if you put it on the calendar, you ensure that it happens. But again, the challenge with that is it can cause you to get into just routine. So then you're focused on the scheduled day, but not any time outside of those scheduled times. And so now your once exciting, spontaneous, powerful partnership becomes repetitive because there's too much scheduling and not enough spontaneous sex. So the way you change things up are you have to find ways to make your partner a priority. That is so important. And not just the priority mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but also sexually. Sometimes you might need to do a little sexting, especially for those who are traveling, those of you who are on the road. You might need to do some sexting. Maybe you need to have a little dirty talk over the phone. And that is one way that, you can lead up to your maintenance sex without making it feel too routine. That is something you can try. All right. So the next pro, you're forced to have an open dialogue with your partner. That is one of the various pros of maintenance sex, right? It encourages you to start talking about sex with your partner. And that open communication is so important because it helps you ultimately to have a better relationship. It gives you opportunities to start talking to your partner about any fantasies or fetishes or kinks, and to talk to your partner about your needs. And that is so important. And I tell couples all the time that, you cannot hold your partner accountable to something that they never knew was an expectation. So we have to talk about our expectations. We have to talk about our wants and wishes and desires, all of those things, right? But the con is that you can avoid getting to the root of the problem. Sometimes couples just aren't having sex for more complex reasons than just because. Sometimes I'll ask, like, well, why aren't you? Well, I don't know, just because. But a lot of times it's way deeper than that. And sometimes maintenance sex can brush over medical issues right? That are the result of, medical reasons, which causes there to be a low sex drive to no sex drive. Sometimes, your partner may be experiencing painful sex, and maintenance sex will force the person to not go get treated or not get seen or not talk to their doctor about it. Lack of conflict resolution is another big one. We're not resolving our issues and we just keep having sex because we know it's important and all of those things. And like I said, trying to take one for the team, but that is not in place of resolving your issues. So, building intimacy without sex is just as important as you building sex with intimacy, right? They both go hand in hand. You need both. All right. Next pro, scheduling sex can give you something to look forward to. So I know this may sound contradictory to what I just said, but just because you schedule sex, it doesn't mean it has to be boring. You literally can find nice places, different places to have sex within your home or outside, as long as you don't get arrested. Like, for example, you might want to try as a part of your morning routine, little shower sex. You can try new positions. So I'm just saying there are different things that can be done. Even though it's scheduled, you can still add some adventure and some excitement to it. Again, like I said, with the sexting leading up to it, the con, scheduling in sex, again, I've already said it can become boring. And that is not what we want, right? It can be tedious. It can become tedious to keep up if you're not mentally all in. And the intention is to strengthen the relationship. So sometimes, you may need to do some couples counseling so that you guys can get assistance with beneficial ways to like open up that communication between you and your partner and have those courageous conversations that you need to have. So again, it is important that we are looking out for each other, right? It is important that we are trying to take care of each other. And so I tell couples all the time, a lot of times our focus is not in the right place, right? I'm focused on trying to get my needs met. You're focused on trying to get your needs met. And therefore, now we're in this place of selfishness. But if I'm focused on you and you're focused on me, we're both being taken care of. And that's the goal, right? So I want to look at some of your comments and I want to say thank you, Yvonne and Lindsay, Felicia, Hubert, and Kenny for letting me know that you're here. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Hubert, I love your comments. You were answering my question, maintenance sex, yes or no. And you said, yes, we must do it while we can, always. And I love that you went on to say that your wife says that she's not a light switch that can be turned on and off. I completely get it. So yeah, there's some level of foreplay that needs to happen, right? And foreplay, we've said all the time, doesn't start in the bedroom, right? It starts outside of the bedroom. And so finding ways to be able to get your partner excited about the activities that are coming is let that be your challenge. Let that be your challenge where you guys are trying to beat the other person to the bedroom. Like, what can we do to get you so excited that you literally are trying to beat me to the bedroom? What can we do to make that happen? So again, I just want to reiterate to you guys that again, this maintenance sex is a big deal, right? It is a big deal. It is something that is necessary to maintain your relationship. The challenge is though, when that's all we're having, when that's all we're doing, the overall goal of maintenance sex is to ensure that the couples, your relationship, your marriage, you guys as a couple do not fall out of the desire to have sex entirely. And also to keep both of you sexually satisfied and engaged with one another. And that is the most important thing, to keep you connected, to keep you engaged, and to keep you satisfied. So I hope that this helped you out today. And again, I didn't really see any questions in here today, so I didn't answer any for you because there were none for me to answer. But I hope this was helpful for you. And as always, if you guys have topics, I don't think I said this to you before. If you have specific topics that you want me to talk about, you have specific questions, this is the place. Drop them in the chat. Let me know if you have something that you would like me to present as a show topic. Please let me know and I will honor your request. So I want to say, you guys, the most important thing is to ensure that, again, you're staying connected, but also that you both are experiencing sex that's mutually beneficial. Mutually beneficial. That's the goal. And so, Cleveland, thank you for your comment. You said, I love this. I got the notification late. So, this is what you need to do, sir. You need to go on to, if you're watching from Facebook, oh, I see you're on Facebook, but you can sign up for notifications. If you watch through YouTube, like, you literally will get notifications. And so, but either way it goes, set your alarm, put it on your schedule. How about that? Schedule your watch time. I am here every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So put it on your calendar, Mr. Cleveland. That way, the notification won't be an issue because it will pop up on your calendar on your phone, and you make sure that you are here and you don't miss out. But for sure, as I said, you guys, if there are ever any topics, anything specific that you want me to talk about, let me know and I will deliver. Because I definitely want to bring content and information to you that is going to be beneficial and that is going to help you on your journey toward a healthier, happier sex life. All right. Oh, Mr. Cleveland, you're in Barbados. I need to do a live show in Barbados. I would love to go there. I've never been there, but I hear it's beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. I have clients that are in Barbados. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. And as I said, you guys, I want you to make sure that you are getting the information that you need. So you let me know what I can do to help you out. You can always, always, always book a session. You can always book a discovery call and get the information that you might need. um that's important too, because sometimes you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but when you make that discovery call, we really can kind of narrow it down what type of support you need, and then we can connect you with resources. So I am definitely here to support you guys. All you have to do is make that call, 678-200-8996. Make that discovery call and we can narrow down what it is that you guys need and get you connected to have a session. And I definitely will support you on your journey toward a healthier sex life. So again, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And I hope that you are all having a great time in your bedrooms. That's what's most important, right? So you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.